Good morning. Welcome to ATI ProMedia. Here's our number for the day, 37,000. We've got a lot of news to digest. Let's get into it. Mr. Grisafi, Tommy, is out traveling, doing some speaking up north. So today I've got my coworker, Brady Huck. Let's bring Brady on. Brady, how we doing?
I'm doing great, Connor.
Good
Doing
deal.
great.
Good.
Glad to be here.
Awesome. So we had the Fed rate decision, and with that, Brady, we've got the Dow breaking records north of 37,000. Talk about great to see. All-time record, I believe we're carrying in today. Hopefully we'll see the S&P. We can say tomorrow the S&P had a breaking records as well. So great to see. What started it is we had the Fed and Powell come out, right? Did what we expected. They did not do any rate changes, but the rhetoric they talked about for 2024 is rate cuts can be coming. With that, we saw 10-year yield drop 3.9%. A big risk on day. We had the Dow up, stocks up, gold was up, crude. So good to see outside of commodities that we'll see, and hopefully we'll see, right, that rhetoric have some follow through going into next year.
Yep.
And
Check those 401ks. Everybody's the stock market. It's great to see the market going up and taking off like that. Great day yesterday.
Absolutely.
Continuing today.
And right now the market, right, we were expecting kind of them to really punt and not talk about, definitely not raise, but not really talk a whole lot about rate cuts. We kind of saw them really get a little bit more aggressive. They're still leaving the door open for any possibilities in 2024, and we need to see that follow through. But this is a good sign, right? This is a sign. Hopefully we'll see inflation easing, the big rate, right? The 10-year yield at 5%. That's going to be a thing of the past, and we can see that, right? A big talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good news for consumers, good news for the market, and a change maybe for farmers as well, impacting farmers with those interest rates coming down.
Absolutely. That's been a bit, the interest rate and the cost of money has been a big factor. Good morning, ATI. Thank you. It's been a big factor in our marketing decisions, right? When money isn't free. So looking forward to 2024 and 2025, if we do see suppressed commodity prices, maybe we can see some carries and low interest rates where we can make some money doing a little merchandising. So good to see. I believe after this, we'll have Mr. Grisafi and myself will break down some of those Fed rate decisions after this. So let's jump into maybe not a more fun topic, right? We had grains kind of had a rough day on that news on Argentina. We had beans and corn wheat all down. We're up a little bit today, I believe, right, Brady?
Yep. Joe said it earlier. He said, "What? We're up 3 cents, and we've had a 3-cent trading range in corn."
Exciting, but hey, we'll take it. Other good news, Brady, where you're at in Dodge City, Kansas,
it's raining.
Some rain.
It's
something you're not used to.
We got green on the screen. It's raining out here in the high plains. Great to see. Rick, our producer and IT guy in the background, he told me to get an umbrella, but I don't own an umbrella, Connor. We don't own umbrellas out here in Kansas.
Oh man,
find one. But
yeah,
great to see some rain out here. We desperately need it.
Absolutely.
Pivot.
Absolutely.
Look at that drought monitor there, and we're obviously in a much different situation than we were a year ago out here. Here's a look at last year's drought monitor versus this year's in the western Kansas, the western Nebraska, Dakotas. Much different situation out there. How things looking in your backyard, Connor?
Stark contrast for Kansas. For myself, Illinois, Missouri, we're kind of in the same boat as last year in terms of drought, right? A little, if we're just flipping back and forth, we see it. It's a little bit different, but the one thing that it could affect us, right? We talk about drought this early in the year. Is it going to have much? Is there any correlation to the 2024 final yield? I would say no, right? But
if there was a time to be dry, I think I'd pick now versus June or July, right?
Absolutely. The one thing we are seeing it affect is going to be that Mississippi River water levels, right? 2-3 months ago, we talked extensively about the barge traffic and where those drafts were. We're seeing that again, right? If you're looking at where St. Louis, that's my river market, so that's what I know. But looking at that, we've got low, that's going to hurt demand. The other thing I'm looking at, no, I'm jumping on the demand picture, Panama Canal, right? So we got the river low, Panama Canal, very backed up. right? If you're a bulk grain trader, you're not going to get the prime spot. You're going to be waiting a week, 2 weeks, and to pay for a bid, you're looking at north of $1 million, Brady, to get through that Panama Canal. So then our options are, do we go around South America or take a different route, right? Maybe in your world, we're going to see more shoot toward the PNW, right? That's the great thing about the United States is we can move grain.
Multiple routes to get that grain out. But
yeah.
Yep, the Gulf
and
not
then
looking so friendly.
Other rumblings are heard. This is going to be local, but we've started hearing the free DP talks. I don't know if that's something you see much in Kansas, but
yeah, not much out here, but yeah.
When the farmer owns a bunch, that free DP is going to move grain, right? The processor isn't offering free DP because they love farmers. They want to buy grain cheap, but it works well. It usually gets grain moving. So those three things, it doesn't make me super positive basis for the next couple months, honestly, Brady, but we'll keep digesting that and seeing where that goes. Anything else on the drought monitor we got?
Nope, just glad to see that green on the screen, clouds in the sky, and get a little mud on my boots. We're not used to having the mud on our boots out here, but great to see.
Absolutely good deal. And so speaking, excuse me, Joe's popping that in there. Meeting season, have us come out. Tommy's up in Fargo, I believe. If you're someone listen to him, he always gives a great presentation. So we'll make sure to keep doing that.
He does. If you haven't heard Tommy talk in public, you need to, and get him on your list to come in and speak to your group.
Absolutely. So moving on, let's look at volatility, right? When we're talking about interest rates coming down, the Fed lowering rates, then kicking it over to grains. Let's look at what the 3-month implied volatility is doing. So walk us through this, Brady.
Yep, a fascinating chart that Nate Mangold shared with us this morning. And we've talked about this in the past. Dave Lechtenberg did a great video here after hours talking about new crop marketing strategies for corn. And a couple weeks ago, he did one on old crop marketing strategies with corn. And it really ties well in with this, low volatility environment, that cost of ownership. Where's the cheapest way to own grain?
Yep. Technical difficulties.
We're back. What's the cheapest way to own grain? 3-year implied volatility. Corn options are cheap. The market's not pricing in this market to move much. Market could be wrong. Who knows?
Yeah. We'll continue watching that. And just so for anyone, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, we can send you this chart. But just looking at the 3-month implied volatility, we're much lower than what that 5-year average is right now, right? The market is not pricing in almost as little. I'd love to see a 20-year chart in this, Brady, and see where we're at in historical in terms of volatility. But pricing in very low volatility, market is not expecting any big moves, and today is reiterating that, right? Corn in a 3-cent range.
Yeah. So, yep. We'll dig up one of them charts and try to post it on Twitter if we can. So go check us out on Twitter for that.
Yeah. And so let's wrap it up, Brady. Cattle, right? We got Tony. Here's a great comment. Stock market friendly. Let's hope. What do we got in terms of
We're seeing feeders up a little bit here this morning. Feeders are responding well to that news. Nearby, still a little backlog on the fat cattle side of things near term. But let's talk after hours and do a little special. We could go on for 5, 6, 7 minutes on cattle. We'll do that in a special after hours.
Gotcha. Good deal. Well, with that, I don't think we have any other comments. Please, if you got any questions, anything you want to hear, comment when we're doing this show. Give us a call, send us an email, info@atipromedia.com. Give us a call, 855-737-FAARM farm. And with that, unless you got something else, Brady, let's roll our favorite Gersafi, Gina. See ya.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.